It's always a choice. No one's making you do this, and there will come a time when your motivation alone will not be enough to sustain your progress in whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. I've had a really difficult time getting myself to make the kinds of choices that I want to make. And that doesn't seem like it makes sense. That's something that kind of feels contradictory, where you think, well, if I make the choices that I want to make, we always default to what we want to do. But success in general is such an unnatural process. Most people who try to do something aren't able to do it. Most people fail. There's only one first place in most of the races. And so the natural place to be is chasing success, is never really to actually get there. And our nature has a tendency to push back against our drive to succeed. Our nature as human beings, as this species, we are designed, for the most part, to avoid discomfort, even if it means not working as hard to push towards happiness and to find a higher level of comfort or a feeling of fulfillment. We are drawn to that feeling of fulfillment, but we are more likely going to default to just dealing with as little discomfort as possible. And so we end up being our own biggest enemy, regardless of your circumstance, regardless of where you're coming from. And I'm not discounting those. I'm not saying that there aren't a whole bunch of factors that don't have a very large and impactful amount of influence on your capabilities or whatever your situation might be. But ultimately, no matter where you start, wherever you end up trying to go, it becomes a choice. One of the things that I'm trying to improve about myself is to stop giving myself the excuse of just saying, well, that's just how I am. There are parts of myself that I like, there are parts of myself that I dislike. It comes down to making the decision that is in line with the value of the person that you want to be. The way that I am is not the way that I want to be. What I want to avoid is being complacent while also allowing myself to be content. You can be content and want to go further. You can be happy with the person that you are and feel good about yourself while still wanting to improve and become fundamentally better in some way. And this is something that I personally have really been struggling with, where I feel like I've been at odds with my nature, where the things that I feel like I want to do are just a little bit more work than my default setting has a tendency to allow me to do. I'm not unhappy, I just see the things that I want to do and the choices that I wish that I had an easier time making, but wishing that you were making those choices is not the same thing as taking the extra steps to actually make those choices. I'm just staring down a barbell that I feel like I don't want to have to lift, and I'm at odds with myself. And I'm right now making the choice to do it anyway. To make a choice to push to be the person that I want to become instead of defaulting to the person that I just happen to be.